As a woman who works in a field where men are still in the majority at the top ranks of management, I am very excited about Janet Yellen being appointed to chair of the Federal Reserve. She has always given very balanced speeches, but her views are widely known as being more dovish. That is, in the mandate between controlling inflation or price stability and maximum employment, she tends to lean towards maximum employment. And there does seem to be a trade-off. There is a rule known as the Taylor rule, where once inflation increases above 2%, the Fed will direct its attention towards controlling inflation. Or when unemployment arises above its natural level, the Fed will concentrate on controlling unemployment. And at this point, the Fed has been concentrated on unemployment, which is exactly Janet Yellen's strength. There is a fear that the concentration on bringing employment back in line with what should be a natural level of unemployment may cause the markets to overheat, that we may concentrate on that side too long, which is what happened back before the last financial crisis. The markets became overheated and then eventually collapsed. Janet Yellen has a lot of experience on that front. She was head of the San Francisco Fed during the run-up to the market crash that happened in 2008. And so it'll be interesting how she uses the experience from that reign to make her decisions as she goes forward. So the general consensus is that the Fed is in good hands with Janet Yellen. She has experience. She certainly has the knowledge to be able to interpret and all the different variables that need to be considered when making decisions regarding monetary policy. One mandate of the Federal Reserve is to control unemployment, and the Federal Reserve has been engaged in quantitative easing to try to bring employment back to its natural level. No one's quite sure what the natural level of unemployment is. We do know that unemployment was at 5% before the most recent crash back in 2008. It may be that after we fully recover, our natural level of unemployment is a little bit higher because of structural changes that have taken place over the past few years. Regardless, right now we are at 6.7% unemployment, and we have experienced declines in the unemployment rate recently to the extent where the Fed has started to cut back on quantitative easing. In December, the Fed purchased $75 billion worth of debt, whereas previously it had been purchasing $85 billion. And it is reported to only be buying $75 billion again this month in January. So we are in the midst of quantitative easing cutbacks, or what is known as tapering. And navigating through the tapering will be a very tricky job to make sure that we don't cut back too quickly and cause unemployment to spike back up, or that we don't cut back too slowly and cause the markets to overheat. So Janet Yellen has her work cut out for her.